From Commonplace to World's Strongest, it's pretty much just SAO2, honestly. It's a fairly common isekai anime. A class full of teenagers is transferred to a fantasy world where they're all made heroes in order to fight the Demon Kingdom and all this other bullcrap. The heroes are given the task of clearing these giant labyrinths, which they want to be Castle Eingrad from SAO really bad. So they can get to the bottom and get these treasures to help them have the upper hand over the demons. Our main character in this instance, let's just call him Discount Dante, you'll understand in a minute, ends up getting betrayed by one of his classmates during a fight with some enemies on a lower floor, and he falls into the abyss. Once he's in this abyss, which is like the lower levels of the labyrinth, he has to fight all these enemies and kind of survive. This is the point where it kind of gets cool, because while he's down there, his arm literally gets fucking ripped off by this giant, like, shiny polar bear, and he has to crawl away and survive. During this, he kind of figures out in his head, he's like, alright, I was betrayed by someone, this makes no sense. He fucking starts killing a bunch of monsters and eating them and getting their powers, which I think is cool. The first couple episodes of this anime, first one or two, they're pretty good, I would say. But yeah, so during this, he starts killing all these monsters and getting their powers, which is pretty cool. My dude ends up making a fucking gun out of rocks and shit. He said, fuck the swords, fuck the magic, I'm making a goddamn Glock. So with that, he goes over to the fucking bear, does a super alpha power move, shoots its arm off, eats its arm while in front of the bear, and then kills it by shooting it like 3 million times. All of that's super cool. When I first watched these couple, like the first episode, I loved it. It was really cool. I loved the struggle. I loved watching him grow and everything. But after that, it all goes downhill. So after eventually going through the abyss for a little while, our hero finds the fucking lolly vampire imprisoned in a fucking bullshit square or something stupid. And that's when it all just ends up sucking. The rest of the season sucks dick. It just sucks. There's no other word for it. It blows absolute ass. So the rest of this show just becomes void of enjoyment. Discount Dante and the lolly vampire, who's 1,000 years old, start getting like super touchy with each other. It's very uncomfortable to watch. I'm not a huge fan of that. And most of the enemies at this point, even up until then, they were kind of CGI, but mostly every fight after a certain amount of time is CGI, except for the people. So it gets to this point where it's super fucking goofy, and you have the main character just sitting there shooting, and everyone's fighting this fucking CGI dragon or scorpion or whatever, and it just looks goofy as all hell. It's honestly, though, the thing that happened, this anime could have been good, and it did the same thing SAO did. That pissed me off. So it forced that romance on them. It gave them friends and romance way too quickly. It kind of like came way too fast. Like in SAO, okay, the first 2 episodes of SAO, I love that. After that, it goes downhill as well. It's because with these kind of animes, people want to see the struggle of the main character. They want to see him grow. They want to see him, go through all these, tough circumstances. Even, it can be a girl too. It doesn't matter. They want to see this character, whether it be a girl or a guy, go through these rough circumstances and survive. And it's kind of like them against the world. And when you're watching as a viewer, you feel really, moved, and you really like that because you feel like you're on their side. You feel like you can, resonate with that. You feel like the whole world is against you too, and you want them to succeed. But with stuff like this, it's almost like they just fucking blow their load way too fast, and they're like, all right, he's got 10 fucking girls that want to slob on his knob right away. SAO, I will give credit, did a better job than this anime. This anime did it right away. They gave him like a girlfriend 2 seconds. Like, I swear in the second episode he kisses her or something like that. It's really bad. Yeah, it's just, it becomes void of enjoyment, and it's bad. On SAO's behalf, I will say that SAO at least made Kirito suffered for at least the first 5 or 6 episodes. I will give him that. But then after that, it was just all shit. But yeah, that's mainly all I have to say. The best way to sum up this anime is that Discount Dante and his harem shoot at CGI still frames while I try not to kill myself while watching. That's the best way to describe it. But yeah, definitely, if you want to, go watch the anime for yourselves, see what you think of it. I'm not a very big fan of it on a scale. I'm going to do a scale rating from now on. It's going to be something different every time. I'm going to give this a solid maybe 2.5 out of 5. Soggy egg rolls. I don't know, something stupid. I don't know. It's up to you to decide, because I'm sure there's at least going to be 1 or 2 people that are like, oh my god, I love this anime. and it's like when it just kind of sucks mega dick. I mean, honestly. All right, guys, have a wonderful day. Make sure to subscribe and hit the links below. Definitely follow on Twitch and anywhere else that you would like to. It's genuinely appreciated, and if you don't, I will take your toes, bitch.